Marine Corps veteran Kee Etsicitty is a native of the Navajo Reservation. Like many traditional Navajos, he introduces himself by clans.
Tatshini, Yolgagin, Tapa, Yolgagi, Basis, Kia Anna Ash, Mande, Bizego Ash, Kia Anna. Shizende, Bizende, Kentachini, without an answer. Jackson, it last cheat and let could last side.
In World War II, the United States Marine Corps drafted hundreds of Native Americans to develop a secret code derived from the Navajo language. The code was effective enough to confuse the opponent because few people outside of the Navajo Reservation had learned the language. According to Major Howard Connor, 5th Marine Division Signal Officer, were it not for the Navajos, the Marines would have never taken Iwo Jima. Veteran Kee Etsicitty was one of the many Navajos who served their country using the code. These are just some of his stories.
Etsicitty means working with the hammer like silversmith, blacksmith, or, pounding or something. That's a description of pounding, using the hammer. I asked my grandparents, I said, why did they call me Kee? Well, they said, when you was born, when you came to this earth, everybody was happy. Your grandmother said it was a boy, a boy, a boy. It's Ashki, Ashki, Ashki. So that's why they called it Kee. So I guess so. I kept it. I want to keep that name. Now I say I'm 90 years old now. From what they told me during when I was joining the Marine Corps, they told me, one of my parents told me, I said, one of my sisters, the older sister, said, you was born 1924. So I said I was born 1924 in May because the corner was that high. They said, okay.
Like many young Navajos, Kee was sent to boarding schools to obtain an Americanized education.
Government issue clothes, you clothes then because you wear that and they feed you 3 times a day. You got a place to go to sleep. But that's just like sheep. You go this way, you go this way. The teacher, I guess they were good. I don't know how good they are at the time or what. They teach you. They can slap you. They do anything with you. I was a home life. After we went to boarding school, you stay there 9 months. Well, that's all right. You sleep there, you got to sleep there. They give you plenty of some clothes you don't have. I know most of them don't buy clothes for in the boarding school. They furnish you some clothes, whether they're small or big or anything, they give it to you. That's the way it was.
Native American Marines learn the code throughout their basic training.
They tell you what to do and you're going to do it. That's it. And I just remember real good the boot camp, the basic training of Marine Corps. They say, you got to go, you got to move, you got to do this, You put your hand in your pocket early in the morning. If the sergeant sees you a couple of times, so you go out in the boondocks, out in the sand pile, put the sand in your pocket, and you come back. And if you're coming back into the rank, if you laugh about that man that's got a pocket a sand in his pocket, you go get it too. So everybody gets something like that. Early in the morning, it gets cold in San Diego down in the boot camp, so you don't put your hand. They tell you to get your hand out of your pocket. You're a Marine. This will be tough. You just have to go along with what the white men say. Eddie said they gotta a couple down over there. The people that run this, the government says you will do this. You're going to have to do it. It's just that. It's just like that. You have no choice at all. You got nowhere to go. But what they say, you'll have to swallow it and go. Maybe I should go to the top, like I say. Well, you're going to. They come up with something like A, B, C, alphabet, A, B, C. They told her, well, A, you got 3 words that you're going to have to remember. Put it up here because they got no dictionary. It's not written, so you have to put it inside of there. And you have to remember that. You memorize 3 words for A. Just like if you say A, like Willachi ant, all Navajos understand that, I guess. So if you say ant in a Navajo, you put an A down. That's it, the first letter. Then you say apple, the first letter A. And the X, then it. Yeah, that's it. So that's what you got to study. You got to memorize this. Practice every day. You are going to have a good pronunciation in Navajo word. That's the main thing. Because if you mumble or something like that, they won't. The message got to be pure. It's got to be. The receiver is going to have to receive it real clear. Like you say, Willachi. If you say Willa, if you got a stutter like that, they won't take you. They brought the code talker to the office or wherever they sent the message. That took only less than 3 minutes to correct the whole thing. But on the English side, it took 13 minutes to correct it. That's what they told us. But nobody understands that the smartest people in the world, Japanese, they didn't get it. They didn't break that code. We fool everybody, I guess.
Kee served as a code talker in the South Pacific for just over 2 years.
It rains about every other day. It rains a lot on those islands. Yeah. They got what they call a quicksand. You walk around and shoot and go down there. Yeah. You get a lot of crocodiles. There's, alligator right out in the flat. Warm themselves up. Kind of. They got all kinds of animals, like, I don't know, in the jungle, I guess. You can see monkeys up in the tree. You get a lot of bugs, different kinds, small, big, all kinds. Because they were coming to birds, so they holler all night long. Especially when the shooting goes on, all the birds start singing. I'm the only one with a short sleeve in that picture. Why that is that we came back off the front line this way because I was carrying the radio like this on the side. There was a heavy thing, and all those things they tore your sleeve down like this and all flips like that. And the officer came to me and said, "You better do something about that sleeve because they're looking for something to move." So that's why they tore that. I'm the only one in the picture that he had. I'm the only one that had a short sleeve. But those guys on the other side, the enemy gets on your frequency in your radio, they cut you, boy. Some of them talk good English, right? Some of those guys come up and say, "You guys talk like a chicken without a head," or something like that. They talk good English, some of them. They tell you in the radio, "You go to hell, Marine." Say, "We don't know where it is." You're not supposed to be talking back to them. They're very strict about that. But sometimes we do. you go to hell first, or something like that, a switch on.
Kee felt many emotions throughout the war.
I don't want to die. I don't want no part of this war. So that's just like I said before. You know what? A lot of people say I wasn't scared at all. Oh, shit, you never been there. You never been shot at. You're not scared. It's just like having a nightmare. If you get a nightmare, you get scared. You know, when you get scared when you get a nightmare, you're going to remember that nightmare. When you get scared in the combat, got a close call, you're going to remember that. That's what I did. I was I didn't, just like I said, I didn't want no part of this. But nobody does. You know, they want to get home. They want to be home. That's the way it goes. That's the way I feel at the time, all that time. So I'm here today, and I'm glad I'm here today. Well, they told us not to talk to anybody about using the code words, the one that you learn, that you use in the service, transmit in the war. Said, don't say that, zip it here. It's good.
I didn't know what war was or anything like that, and I didn't even know he went to war, and I had no idea until probably I was 15 years old or something like that, just getting into high school. They started seeing a picture of my dad at a museum, and that's when I started asking him where was this at, and he started telling me all kinds of stuff, and that's how I found out the Code Talker.
After the war, Kee returned home to the Chilchiltah Jones Ranch community and put his communication skills to good use as a teacher and a rodeo announcer.
I used to work for the Bureau of Indian Affairs boarding school. Taught 8-year, 9-year-old kids down here at the Chilchiltah school. Well, I talk a lot to these guys, so then I thought, well, one day they said they're going to have a rodeo down there. Down at the school, it's about 8 miles down the west from here. And they built a beautiful rodeo, The best part of my life looks like that. I enjoy talking to people, I don't speak that good English, but I try my best, But 8th grade level or something like that. But I think they understood me. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the rodeo. One of the finest rodeo in the south of Gallup. This is one of the best we got right here. We got some of the top performers here with us today. We are going to enjoy seeing them ride, and we wish them the very best of luck.
According to Kee, the war was won through many efforts.
We're all at it. We all love liberty, and we all love our kids. We love our home. So I'm glad that I'm part of it. That we come home. That's really something that was worth it. I think we're here today. We'll be here tomorrow. So that's what the Japanese, when I went to Seattle, Washington, to my son said, well, there was a bunch of elderly, older Japanese people, women and men were sitting right there. They're going back going somewhere from there, but they come over to where we were sitting. They told us that, so we're glad that you have. They didn't say you stopped the war. They said you stopped the killing, because the ones that are not killed had came back and were going to see their grandparents. That's what we were talking about, I think. So go like that to about 20 minutes, I guess. So yeah, I'm very thankful.
But I'm glad that they done what they done, though, really. Just like he says, he gets choked up when he sees little kids playing. He gets tears in his eyes, and he says, this is what we went to war for these young kids to grow up, learn, be happy.
You can't do it alone in anything like that, especially war. Oh, Adolf, oh, Germany tried to do it. So that's what I'm glad that I had contributed something for the people, so everybody can see their grandparents. You know. So you can go to school, see the ball game, see your kids play. Sometimes I cry like a little child, thinking of that thing. Those guys came back. We all did. We all helped. So that's not only us. We done something a little bit helping in the war, shorten that war a little bit. Make a lot of people come home, just like I said, see your grandkids play ball or something like that. I'm glad I've done that. So.
Code talkers, Shapa, Shapa, Diné,